Branden back to episode of Brandon's Boy Problems. Today's episode is about how my boyfriend likes to be friends with his exes. So personally speaking, this has caused a lot of drama in our relationship over the 5+ months we've been dating, because first he wanted to remain friendly with a guy that he decided to start seeing after he and I had started seeing each other, and that did not sit right with me, especially since he was seeing us both at the same time and behind my back without me knowing. And then I didn't like the fact that he wanted to keep seeing this person, even though he decided that he wanted to be with me and only me, and he wanted to remain friends with the other person, because to me it just seemed like, okay, how do I know you're not lying and still seeing both of us? How do I know you're not cheating on me with him? How do I know you're not, like, fucking him on my back and all this other shit? And then the fact that we did, like, end up spending New Year's with that guy that he had been seeing behind my back after they became friends was a little awkward, but thankfully I handled it fine. The other guy didn't so much, since he had, like, jealous and, like, grabbed my boyfriend's ass and, like, yeah. And then he and I apparently had talked on an app before, like, years ago. I did not remember, because I've talked to, like, thousands of guys on apps over the years. Like, had been on dating apps for, like, nearly a decade. Like, I don't remember every single conversation I had with people. So yeah, that was just a messy experience, and I feel like that's why I don't want to hold on to exes or past hookups and situationships in my life, like, because it's like I'm in a new relationship. I don't need to continue hanging out with, dating, or like seeing or being friends with people that I used to date. But then again, it's like I am friendly with former hookups, like past hookups, like one night stands or whatever. And to me, I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, we talk on Instagram, we talk on Facebook, like we chat here and there, but it's like I'm not going out to hang out with them. I'm not going out to like meet up with them. I'm not going out to like chill at their place. And it's like, even if I did, I would be faithful and trust my boyfriend. So I do have to, like, that's probably what I struggle with. It's like, okay, I know I can go hang out with someone from my past and not hook up with them or cheat on my boyfriend. So I have to trust him to be able to do the same. But to me, it's just like, I'm not even putting us in the position that I need to have you trust that I'm not going to cheat on you, because I'm not putting myself in that position. Like, I don't need to hang out with them. Like, I have other friends. I have other people in my life. I don't need to be friends or hang out with guys I used to date, fuck, have feelings for, was in a romantic situation with. Like, that's just not a part of my life. Even like my ex-boyfriend, we have literally no contact at all. Like, it's not a factor in my life. But during our relationship, it's like he's dealt with like several exes, and then most recently we went to hang out with one of his ex situationships that he dated for like many months, and then they didn't work out years ago before we met. But then it's like he's still close with like the guy's family. He still calls the ex's guys cousins his cousins, which kind of confused me and bothered me at first, because it's like, you told me they were your cousins and now I find out they're your ex situationships cousins. Like, why'd you lie to me? But Black people always call people cousins. I don't. If we're not related, I'm not calling you brother, sister, aunt, uncle, whatever, unless you're related by blood. But that's just me. So yeah, it's definitely been a complicated situation, like, because I've never really dealt with this before. Well, again, my ex-boyfriend never had any friends and never met any of his friends or family, so I never had been in this type of situation where it's like dealing with exes and other stuff, because we just pretty much spent all our time with each other. So I do like having a man that has friends and a social life and a family and whatever. It's just really hard when it's like having to deal with exes still in the picture, whether if it was something that's been removed for years or something that's more recent. So, and then even when we were together, like before we became official, like he had a night where he like met up with his ex-boyfriend before me, that he dated like before me, and then like I didn't hear from him like all night, which is really suspicious and shady. But I trust that he said that he didn't cheat on me, and they just had unresolved issues to work out. So I'm choosing to believe that, even though I know it sounds stupid saying it out loud. And I'm just going to believe it no matter how stupid it sounds. So, yes, it so makes me uncomfortable, because it's like, we're also in different positions, because most of my ex relations, well, two of the major ones are dead. So, and then the other ones don't live anywhere near me, but my boyfriend's exes are all pretty much in an hour radius of where we live now, because he's never really lived outside of this area. So everyone he's ever had romantic feelings for still lives in this area, whereas me, I don't have any deep connections around here, because my love experiences happened elsewhere or they're dead. So it's really just not really like a mutual situation, because I do feel like the natural me, it's like the petty me, it's like, oh, you want to go hang out with your exes? I'm gonna go hang out with my exes too. But it's like, I don't have any exes to hang out with around here. And even then, it's like, I don't want to hang out with them. Like, they're not a part of my life anymore. Like, there's a reason that we didn't work out. They're not in my life. Like, when I'm done with someone, I cut you off completely. Like, we can be chat here and there. We can text here and there, like, catch up, how are you, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not going to meet up with you. I'm not hanging out with you. I don't have any desire to hang out with you. I don't have any desire to be your friend. It's just like, you're not a part of my life anymore. Like, I moved on. So it's just really hard dating someone that's the complete opposite. It's like, oh, we can still be friends. They're cool people. I don't want to, like, have to never see or speak to them again just because we didn't work out romantically. Like, I'm the complete opposite. It's like, okay, we didn't work out romantically. You are dead to me. Like, period. Like, there's no if, ands, or but about it. There's literally, like, so many people in the world. Like, I don't need to be friends with my exes. Like, there's other people I can be friends with that I don't have romantic or sexual history with. Like, but that's just me. But I am friendly with a lot of people from my past, like friends with benefits, hookups, etc. So I am trying to be sympathetic. I am trying to be open-minded. I am trying to deal with being in the situation that I never would have chosen. And I do tell my boyfriend, like, I'm choosing to tolerate this because it's not really something I agree with, just because my ex and I did have a rule that, like, we can't interact with any of our exes. And I kind of felt like it was too restrictive and kind of stupid. And, like, that's when we, like, broke up because he got really mad because some guy I hooked up with one time that was, like, really annoying, like, kept fucking messaging me on, like, Kick or something. And then, like, he got really mad and, like, stormed off, whatever. But, like, that was a reaction. So I do feel like, yes, you can trust me to, like, chat with, like, an ex or something without cheating on you. But it's also just, like, no, we don't need to hang out. And then, like, you want to bring me around hanging out. And it's, like, the experiences where I have been around his exes or, like, guys from his past hasn't been bad. It wasn't, like, a terrible experience, except for, like, the New Year's one. The guy was, like, rude, like, grabbing my boyfriend's ass. But honestly, I wasn't even fazed because it's like I saw how ugly the guy was in person, so I wasn't really threatened or anything. But it's just kind of like, you never know, like, if a guy's gonna cheat on you with someone from his past. Like, it happens all the time. Like, it happens to people all the time, getting cheated on, betrayed, lied to, deceived, like, and they get dumped for the guy wants to get back with his ex. Like, you never know what's going on in someone's head. And I've had a guy dump me, get back with his ex before too. So it's just kind of like, you never know. Like, anyone can always switch up on you and then decide that they want to be with someone else. So it's just a really complicated situation that I would rather not be in. But again, it just causes really drama where my boyfriend feels like I'm trying to control him or, like, tell him who he can and can't be friends with because I'm just, like, not comfortable with him wanting to hang out with his exes. So it's either just, like, accept it or dump him or just fight about it all the time. And then it's like nothing gets resolved. It's like he's just gonna do whatever he wants. So then it's like, I gotta decide to do whatever I want. But it's like, I don't want to keep having this drama. But he refuses to see that it's better for your current relationship to not hold on to exes or whatnot. So it is a complicated situation. And, like, the gay world is small. So it's like a lot of us are friendly with people from our past, especially, like, people we have hooked up with and now have become friends with. And I don't feel like it's my place to say you can't be friends with your ex if you were already friends with them before you and I met. But if it's like you weren't hanging out with them before you and I started dating, so when you hang out with them after we started dating, I kind of feel like that way too, because it's like he does have friends so, like, that he had hooked up with, like, years ago, but now he's, like, platonic friends with. But it's like, I knew you were already friends before we got serious, so I can't tell you to cut off that relationship. But again, I do feel like if you weren't friends with them before we started dating, then you don't need to be friends with them after we started dating. So that's just how I feel about the situation. So thanks for joining me for this episode of Branden's Boy Problems.